Maxwell, what's going on, brother?
There he is.
How
There
you
he
doing?
is. There he is.
Let's go, brother. Let's go.
There he is.
Listen, man, glad to have you on the line, brother. And we're gonna get into a very good interview, man. I want to touch on a lot of different things on how you feel about politics, the community, and so forth. Yeah, let's jump right into it.
Wait, can we go further than politics and the community? Are
Oh,
you
absolutely,
game?
absolutely, absolutely.
Because I'm trying to make sure that first of all, you do such a fantastic job. So we've got to make sure that this thing is exactly what it needs to be, that it is lit beyond belief. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I'm trying, you already see, we got you see what we do
That's
over
heavy.
here.
That's heavy.
Okay, you this is what we do over here. So
That's heavy.
I
I
don't know,
love
I don't know where you guys are,
it.
but
We in
wherever
Philly.
you
We in Philly right now. We in Philly.
okay,
We grinding right now.
so wherever you guys are, I'm glad you're here with me. And so I want to show you how we do it. I'm from the West Side, as you know. I'm from the city of Compton,
Absolutely.
born and raised. I know it doesn't look like Compton right now.
Respect.
I understand it may not look like, but I am from the city of Compton, and on the West Side we do it a little bit differently. So I
Yeah.
love Philly. I absolutely love Philly. I have fantastic guys from Philly. Although this guy Gilly the Kid, me and him gonna have to square up because he's talking reckless. But we'll get into that in a different time. But yeah, I
Yeah.
want to absolutely give you the interview of a lifetime because this type of information, I feel that I'm the only guy possibly qualified to discuss things about our lives today. I
Yes.
know we've got lots of people with podcasts. We've got lots of interviewers, urban and non-urban. None of those guys are qualified like me. So my qualifications are vast. From private business, I've been a seven-figure businessman for a very long time. And I've owned everything from dry cleaners and laundromats to shoestring manufacturer and clean energy. I'm the
Wow.
only African American to ever own a Bitcoin mine. Check it for yourself.
Wow.
I've been mining Bitcoin since it was $3. So do the math. Mining. I didn't say buying. I said mining, which
Wow.
means the guys that make the coin, the guys that farm the code. I've
Yes.
been doing that since Bitcoin was $3, and I
Wow.
did it in a clean energy plant from water in South America that I owned. I've owned motels, you name it. I've been on all sides on four continents doing business,
Yes.
and I've been living out of America, in and out of America. I've always kept a place in America. I've kept domicile and residence in America, but I've also always been doing business overseas. I come from a long line of politicians. My mom was in public office. My dad was a Compton Police Department when Compton had a police department.
Okay.
Okay, my mom was president of the city council in the city of Compton.
Oh wow.
My uncle was lieutenant governor of California. My godfather was the mayor of Los Angeles.
That's heavy.
So we come from heavy hitters, and I come from a side of Compton that didn't rock NWA. We didn't believe in Dr. Dre and all that. We didn't rock with them.
Okay.
When I was 18 years old, I threw NWA off stage, threw them off stage for cursing in front of kids. Tossed them off stage in the city of Compton.
Wow.
My family was that family. So, and you can check these things for yourself by all means. And so I've done everything from private business to politics. I recently stepped down as the county commissioner of Los Angeles because I got full custody of my son.
Okay.
We'll talk about that, and when we talk about family stuff, we can get into fatherhood. Because for me, everything starts from fatherhood, not from all these women that we're blaming for everything. It's not about women. It's not about women, fellas. This is about fellas. The future is not female. The future is fellas, and we have to get it right. So I'm all yours. Let's get it. I know when you say stuff like that. Let me make sure I get my East Coast on. I know when you say I'm all yours, I'm supposed to say pause, right? That's what y'all do on the East Side.
Well, I think that's more New Yorkish.
That's
Philly
the
is
New York.
more. Yeah.
Philly's not doing the pause thing.
No, no, Philly. No, we're not doing pause.
Okay, because I seen Beans. I saw Beans in the interview and he was doing he was doing the pause thing. So okay,
But you know what? We got mad love for Beans, so I get it. Beans, he's like he move around a lot in New York, so I get it. I understand. Yep.
yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm King George. I'm the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. Today, I am here. Listen, with a special brother from the community. This brother right here is the first African American county commissioner of Los Angeles. This brother right here is a two-time book author. Listen, these books right here.
Don't do that to me. Best-selling author.
You write best-selling two-time author. Yes, you right. You absolutely right. Best-selling two-time author. You talk about Her America, and then you talk about the death of cheating men. Death of the cheating man. What are you? Listen, these titles right here are historic.
Appreciate it.
This brother also is a community activist. This brother is a businessman. And this brother right here is a community advisor. The county champion. Let's give it up for the brother Maxwell. Some say, listen, some may say Billieon, some may say Billieon, some may say Billieon. But listen, let's give it up for Maxwell Billieon. Let's go.
Talk your ish. Talk your ish. Talk your ish. Absolutely. Pleasure. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. We just started. This is my second week of press. I had done no podcast. I done no media. When I did my reality show, a millionaire matchmaker on WeTV, I did no media. When I did my own digital show, 9 episodes on WeTV Digital that I owned, called Maxed Out. I did no media. When I had my syndicated radio show called Maxwell Speaks, I did no media. I've never been a guy for talking to media, but that's changed. Now it's time to speak because the country that we live in is upside down. The game is upside down, and it's time to put it right the freak side up. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to do. I feel like I'm the most qualified to get it done. If this was a boxing match, I'd be saying I'm the best fighter in the game. And I did box Golden Glove, so I do feel like I'm the best. I'm the most qualified at that too. Gilly, I'm looking for you, Gilly. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that another time. We'll talk about that another time. Absolutely, absolutely, I'm super excited. So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So, who is Maxwell Billieon?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a father. I'm a father of two. That comes before any and everything because legacy is tantamount. It's paramount to any and everything that you do. If you are not leaving a legacy here, you're just taking up space. You should get the hell up out of here. We don't need that.
That's
I'm
true.
interested. I'm interested in people that want to leave a legacy, and that doesn't necessarily always mean children because everybody doesn't have children. But you should be leaving your name here. When people talk about you when you die, they should be talking about how you changed lives. If you're not doing that, you're not cut from the same cloth as me. I'm sorry, we're just different. So first and foremost, I'm a father. Second of all, I'm a legacy builder. And when I say legacy builder, I'm talking about financially speaking. I
Yep.
believe I believe in financial literacy for myself, financial literacy for my children, and then financial literacy through myself and my children to my community.
Yes.
I don't preach community first. I don't believe in community first. How can you have the community first when you haven't taken care of your home? You haven't taken care of your house. When your house is messy, when your block is messy.
Yep.
Don't talk to me about community when you're not even taking care of your own home. So I believe in taking care of ourselves and taking care of our home first and foremost. And then there's business. You have to be doing business and you have to be doing business at large.
Yeah.
It's great to have community business. It's great to have big business, but I believe in global business. Black people, as an African American man, we were global before the slave trade. Africans did business on a global scale like no one. Check your history, people. Like no one before. No one ever saw the level of business Mansa Musa was doing. No one saw the level of business Tut was doing. The level of outreach that these guys had. Africa, from Zimbabwe to Nigeria. These were global players in
Yes.
the global system, the global economy before slavery. And so I believe in not a return to that, but a re-energizing, excuse me, of what that meant for us, something that we can be proud of. So we have the internet today. There's no reason why this business, this is a business that you have. You
Yeah.
intend for this to be a business, and
Yeah.
so that business is global. So that's the second part, and then lastly, it's mental health. Maxwell Billieon is about mental health. As Black people, we're walking zombies. That's the truth. We are zombies. We have not gone to therapy. We've not done therapy. Therapy still has a dirty taste in the mouth of African Americans. And without therapy, most African Americans have PTSD.
Hmm.
Most Americans have PTSD, but especially us because we come from the worst conditions. And so I am about mental health. If you don't have mental health, you cannot have physical health. If you don't have mental health, you can't have your financial life right. If you don't have mental health, you can't have your family life right.
Yeah.
So I may have mentioned mental health last, but it technically comes first. I'm about mental health. And
Okay.
so you have those ducks in a row. You have your family, your finances, and your mental health. Who can stop you?
Mm.
Who can stop you? You don't get caught up in what Cardi B is doing or what Charleston White is saying. You don't get caught up in those things. You're too worried about you and yours.
Yep.
And if you're focused on you and yours, you're guaranteed success. It's a guarantee. That's me in a nutshell. You guys know about the politics and the best-selling books, but those are all offsprings of me having my personal, political, and physical elements all in a row because the mental health is there. When my mental health hasn't been there, and I've had times we could talk about it, where my mental health was not there, of going through a custody battle, fighting for the custody of my children for 3 years. I didn't see my babies. My mental health was not there. And you could see it in my bank account. You could see it on my taxes. You could see it in my friendships. So when that mental health is not there, we're going to do some messed up stuff. And that's why you see a lot of people like um, um, Stephen Curry and what's going on with his family, and Cardi B and going and having another baby, and like you can see in the celebrities when mental health is off, you can see that they make poor decisions. So that's what I'm talking about is let's get our mental health up, let's get our financial health up, let's get our personal health up.
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. And I'm glad that you touch bases on mental health, right? Because I want to dive straight into that. Um, how do you feel about the mental health of the youth nowadays? And do you believe that these mental health problems are being passed down from the parents to the children?
Oh, absolutely. Excuse me. Mental health is the one thing that you can pass down without trying, right? If you want to pass money to your children, you have to try, right?
Yes.
That takes organizing. You have to do a will. You have to do a trust. You have to set those things up. Mental health, you don't have to do anything. You can just be your damaged self. And so when we look at the YNs today, we all know what these YNs are. When we
Yeah.
look at them, we see that these young children, and that includes the girls in those groups as well,
Yes.
are children that have been denied the right to mental health, to healthy emotional stability and a healthy emotional platform. They have been denied that by their communities, but most importantly, hear what I say, most importantly, by their denial of fatherhood. By denying these children fathers, we have the South Side of Chicago. By denying these children father, we have all-time record highs of violence in the African American youth community. We have gangs galore. Let's be clear. Where there are fathers, you can't have gangs. It doesn't go together. You
Yep.
cannot have gangs when you have fathers. Your father is your superhero. Your father is your Batman. He's your Superman. Your father is, no disrespect to the women, but they are not your superhero. Your father is your superhero. And if you're devoid of your superhero, you have nothing to look up to. So then you look out to, right? When you're with your father, he gives you something to look up to. If your
That's true.
father's not there, or if he's just there being a daddy and not being a father, then you look out. And once you look out, you make the mistake that will cost you your life. You look out to other men that do not have your best interest in mind. Remember something. Your father is the only one on this planet. He's the only male. He's the only man on this planet that
Mm.
wants you to be better than him. He's the only one. No other man on this planet wants you to be better than them. I love what you're doing with this podcast, but I don't want you to outdo me. I don't want you to make more money than me.
Yeah.
We
Respect.
in competition. We in competition. You might see, oh, the Maxwell Billieon, that's my OG. No, brother, I'm in competition. I'm your competition.
Mm.
And when it's your child, you want your child to do better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've seen in the YNs of today, the youth of today, is that they're lost because there's no fathers. Now we all know this. For me to say this is not putting a flag anywhere. The question is, what are they going to do about it? Because those fathers aren't coming back.
Yeah.
They're not coming back. Many of them are dead or incarcerated. So what are the youth going to do about the lacks of fathers? Are they going to make the decision that I am going to be better by any means necessary? Because that's what it will take for Generation Z. Generation Z, it will take you to look in the mirror and say, I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to be a rapper. I'm not going to be a basketball player. That's not in the cards. So I am going to utilize the education system to benefit myself. I'm going to utilize the military to benefit myself. I think most of these boys and most of these girls need to be in the military. They should be in the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, so that they can have stability, so that they can have a platform of discipline that they didn't get from their mamas growing up in single family homes. And
Yes.
then from there, you get into college for free. They pay for you to go for free. A lot of them will say, man, I'm not going to the military. I don't want to be yelled at and screamed at and all that. But if you can look past that, if you look to your future, you will see you can come out of the military making six figures. You can go in homeless and come out making six figures in 4 years. You choose the right job. I did it myself with my nephew. He was homeless, sleeping on the trains in Los Angeles. He
Mm.
came to Uncle and he said, Uncle, I don't know what to do. I took him in. Within 4 months, we studied. He took his test, uh, um, qualified in the top 10%. This boy
Mm.
barely finished high school. But when he got with Uncle and Uncle took on the role of dad, it gave him focus. He went in top 10%. Now this kid is the top engineer in Turkey at the United States Air Force Base with top level Pentagon clearance. He's been in the military for 2.5 years.
Mm.
Only 2.5 years. And he's a technical engineer now in 2.5 years. When he gets out of the military in another 2 years, he will start off at 160K. You can do that too. There's no reason you can't do it too, unless you just believe that you can't. So I know somebody like Charleston White might say the youth is lost and you guys are doomed to hell, but that's absolutely not the case. Don't believe him. How would he know? How would he know when he's never been to hell? I've been to hell. I'm from Compton and I made it. I did it. You can do it too. But it takes you're going to have to buckle down and change your thinking, change the stinking thinking that you have. And if you do that, I guarantee you, you will have success. And you don't have to be a rapper or a basketball player to get it.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you gotta want this thing. We want gangs. Think about this. Gangs, you're in a gang. You claiming a block that you don't own anything. You claiming a street where your mama don't even own her house. You live in a city where you don't own any commercial real estate, but you ready to die for it? Does that make sense? Is that rational behavior? No, you're irrational. You need therapy. All y'all need to go to therapy. You all need to be in therapy. All of you need to be in therapy. I'm in therapy, so you damn sure need to be in therapy. Now, don't listen to Whack 100 claiming Pyru. He's a 50-year-old man claiming gangbanging. That's not your model. Nipsey Hussle's not your model. That's shot and moped out by somebody in his own gang. These guys are not your model. Snoop Dogg's not your model. Dr. Dre's not. These guys are not your model. Snoop Dogg is a 50-year-old man who's gang affiliated. There's nothing sexy about this, about these clowns. You don't follow them. Follow us, the real guys that go and get it done on a global scale, the fathers. Forget these clowns out here. And I call them clowns because they're clowns. They're step and fetch it. They're the court gesture. You know what the court gesture is? The clown that comes
Hmm.
in and dances for the king with the makeup on his face. And that's what these Snoop Dogs are.
Damn.
That's what these guys are. That's what I can go down the laundry list of them. These guys are clowns. They are there for your entertainment, not for you to follow. You don't follow them. King Von. Real men read. Real men give information to their children. Real men stand up, have ethical morals and values. That's what real men do.
Mm.
I'm a real man. I'm not doing this clown stuff with you guys. You want it, you can get it. I certainly will show you how to get it because I've gotten it for myself. I've gotten it for my children. My children, I'm a black kid from Compton. My children speak 4 languages. They have 4 passports. You think they intended for me to do that? Think that's what they wanted from me? No, they want me to have 4 baby mamas. That's their intention from me, is to have a whole bunch of different baby mothers. No, absolutely not. Laying down with different women and doing all that. We think that's cool, and we make rap songs and R&B songs about how you'll sleep with my woman and take it. You want my pussy? What? That makes sense to you? No, you guys have you've been taught wrong. It's not your fault. Let me say this to all the YNs. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that your father was missing. It's not your fault that your mom made a horrible decision. It's not your fault that you live in the projects. It's not your fault that your family has no money. It's not your fault that you live beneath the poverty line. It's not your fault, so it doesn't have to be your problem. You can make that change. Absolutely. And I don't mean to sound cliche and kumbaya because it ain't kumbaya out here. But you can make the change. And that takes you changing your mind today. And if you change your mind, you will change your life.
Mm. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy, brother. That's heavy. How do
I want you to see this while we're on live. It's important.
okay?
Born, I'm on live. Say hello. All right, I've got to get back to my live, but that's my son at the cafe. I've got to go. Okay, I want to interview. Yeah, in a minute. Pardon me. That's rude, but I think it's important. My children call, like John Kennedy talked about it. He wouldn't let anybody into the Oval Office when he was doing business. But if his children came in, he stopped everything
Yes.
so that they understood the level of importance that they had with their father. And
Yes.
that's important to me. That's important to me. So,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
but so this is where we stand with regard to the youth. We got to make a change or they're going to perish. They're perishing already at an alarming rate, higher than anybody else. And it's our fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. I take the blame. It's Generation X's fault. These are our children. Generation Z, those are the children of Generation X. We're missing in action. We've been missing in action. So it's our fault. And that starts with Generation Z men. Generation
Hmm.
X, excuse me. Generation X men. It's our fault. It is. The blame is on us.
Hmm.
So Generation X, we have to step up and take the blame for this and do what's right by these boys, do what's right by these girls, and see the truth. But it's our fault. It's our fault. We were taught to go and make money, yeah, and to go and get an education. And money's been the focus of Generation X for a very long time. You see the Rick Rosses and the 50 Cents and the Diddy's on trial, but you see these level of really successful rappers and athletes. Most of them are over 50. And where's the family legacy? I mean, think about it. What do you see these rappers and these athletes' sons doing? Do you see them? Not that none of them are doing anything, but do you see it? You look at somebody like Jay Prince and his son is mob ties. Like, that's sexy? That's intelligent? That's not intelligent. That's not what we did it for. We did it so that our kids would have something better. And our kids don't have anything except missing fathers. No father. And I don't say daddies. It's a lot of daddies. There's a lot of daddies for the youth, but there's no fathers. We need fathers, and there's a difference between a father and a dad. I'm a father. I'm a father. I'm not a dad. I'm a father.
I respect that. I respect that, brother. To dive into the next question, right? Um, what do you love most about yourself?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. The first time anybody's asked me that. But it's dexterity. It's my ability to persevere. And look, perseverance doesn't just mean you make it to the finish line battered and bruised. That's not what perseverance means. The concept of perseverance is that you cross the finish line as a champion,
Okay,
understanding that you will be battered and bruised, but you don't have to look battered and bruised.
that's
You don't
true.
have to be battered and bruised. Mike Tyson said, yes, these things bounce off of me, but they leave skid marks. I don't
Wow.
want the skid mark. I don't want the skid marks. I want a better model. I want a better model. And that takes perseverance, the ability to be audaciously focused on
Yeah,
perseverance. They are going to call you every name in the book, even your family members, your own mother, your uncle, your sister, your wife, your girlfriend. They're going to call you narcissistic, stupid, ignorant. They're going to call you all types of names. Who do you believe? I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm in Beverly Hills walking with my ex-wife. She was my wife at that time. I'm in Beverly Hills walking down Rodeo Drive. And if you guys know anything about Beverly Hills, you know that Rodeo Drive is the street, right, where all the shopping, all the high-end shopping is. I'm wearing these. I just come from London, and I got these pants on that I bought in London. They're pink, these like bubblegum pink pants. It's summertime. A Cutlass Supreme pulls up next to me. Three people clearly from the hood, black folks. The woman in the front on my side of the street, in the passenger side, says to the woman in the back something, and she turns and she looks at me. He rolls the window down and proceeds to ask me where I got those pants from. I said, I bought them in London. He said, where? I said, I bought them in London. She said, oh, because you look like a fucking faggot. My wife at the time said, what did she say? I said, never mind. We went on, and I remember we went to the Armani store.
mm,
We go into Armani. There's a white couple, male and female, across the store. I see them looking and pointing in my direction. Now remember, I had just been called a fucking faggot. That's what they
yeah,
said. This is the language that they used.
yeah.
The white woman makes her way over to me and she says, excuse me, I'm not trying to hit on your man or anything, but I have a question. Where did you get those pants from? I'm a little bit on guard. I
Yeah,
said, I bought them in London, keeping in mind that I had just been called a fucking faggot for the same question. He
yeah.
said, oh, because, oh my God, I was just telling my fiance that I want him to dress like you. You look so chic. You look incredible. So when I spoke to my uncle about it, he said, which one do you believe? And I thought about it for a moment. And I said, the woman who gave me the compliment. He said, no, you believe neither one of them. You believe yourself. Because both of them are just casting their perception of you onto you. But
Mm-hmm.
you're neither one of those things. When you put those pants on, you didn't need their permission. Yes? So that's the key is you have to know who and what you are
Mm-hmm.
because people are going to call you all types of names.
That's true.
They're going to come at you with every possible angle to try to knock you off your plan because they can't be on theirs. What are you going to do? You persevere. And the way that you persevere is by knowing who and what you are and making sure that who and what you are is your standard. It's got to be up to standard. Don't just, well, I know my value. No, you don't. You're lying. You can't speak English correctly. You dress like a prostitute. Your vernacular is third grade level. You got a lace front on your head that doesn't even match your skin color. Your eyelashes are 5 feet long. You don't know your value. No one presents themselves like that knows their value. I know I just stereotype, and a lot of African American women are going to have a problem with this, but let's just be honest. We're presenting ourselves as pimps and whores. Are men sagging their pants? I can see your butt cheeks.
Exactly.
You walking around with dirty dreadlocks in your head, looking dusty like a homeless person.
Exactly.
I said it.
That's
I said
insane.
it. It's true. I said it. Men wearing bonnets now,
Mm.
bonnets because they were raised by women who wore bonnets in front of them and no father, and all they saw was their mothers and their aunties and their grandmas who raised them wearing bonnets, and now they present themselves as females too. Said it. It's
Mm.
true. So you have to first know who you are, and that means setting a standard for yourself that is undeniably built on success, and then living up to that standard. And when you do that, life is going to come gut punch you, and you're going to have to persevere. And
Yeah,
those that can persevere will be successful, and those that won't will die and perish. I choose
that's
to live and be successful.
that's heavy. That's some heavy words right there, brother. That's heavy. That's heavy. Yeah, absolutely. Let's give it up for Max. Man, Max is that's heavy.
But it's
That's
not
heavy.
me. It's not me. I learned when I lived in Spain and when I lived in Madrid and when I lived in Milan and when I lived in Tokyo and Osaka. I learned from watching those guys. I didn't have this representation in my hood in Compton. This wasn't the representation. I had to leave the hood in order to see success. Not that there was no success in Compton, but it wasn't the type of success that was going to influence me. It was local. I left America and I saw men that were really getting it, really being successful, successful marriages. Some of them a successful marriage with a wife and we call them side pieces.
Mm.
But I went to a funeral of a man that I knew who at his will he left $5 million to his wife and kids and $1 million to his mistress.
Oh,
It was in the will. And his wife had no problem with this. I'm not saying that that's what you should or shouldn't do. I'm
mm.
saying he had a happy marriage. So I learned from these men and how he did that and the way that he formulated his trust so that $1 million would be available without being taxed as a gift. And I spoke to his accountant and I spoke to his financial planner and I learned these things. You usually have to leave the hood in order to be successful. The hood won't appreciate you because the hood sees you as they see themselves.
Yes.
The hood sees you the way that they see themselves, and they don't see themselves as being shit, so they can't see that you are the shit.
Wow.
You
Wow.
have to leave. You have to leave and go become the shit, and then when you come back, they'll see you differently.
Mm.
But while you're there, they think you ain't shit because they don't think that they are anything. And ain't shit people love to be around ain't shit people. So
Yeah.
that's the key. It's not me. These aren't Maxwell Billieon. I would love to take the credit for them, but I'm just giving you guys the game, the information, the knowledge, the wisdom that I received from living in 22 countries.
Yeah.
Living, not visiting for Instagram photos, living.
That's heavy.
Others go places to take Instagram photos. I go places to live. I travel to live, travel to learn.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's pretty heavy. Um, but I got a unique question to ask, and I definitely want to know from your perspective, how do you feel about the state of America as we see it right now, and how do you feel about that state of America under the current administration that we are under?
I love it.
Okay.
I absolutely love it. I don't love what Donald Trump is doing. I love what Donald Trump is.
Okay.
Look, let's understand something about America. It only learns the hard way.
That's the truth.
America has had plenty of opportunities to not have revolution. Every single time we choose revolution. This is another revolution. The question is, what side of it are we going to be on? That's the question. I love what Donald Trump is doing. I love the way that he's bringing, he is cleaning the swamp, even though he's a part of the swamp, but he's a different part of the swamp that we never saw and had access to before. So he is showing us, remember Obama had the audacity of hope?
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 no. Donald Trump is just the audacity.
Mm.
He's the definition of audacity. If Barack Obama had the balls that Donald Trump has, there would be no Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
If Barack Obama had the balls, the testicular fortitude that Donald Trump has, there would be no need for Donald Trump. The problem is, I love Barack Obama. He's a fantastic president, but he was soft. He was soft and he got beat up a lot. Donald Trump's attitude is, you don't beat me up, I beat you up. If there's going to be any beating up, I'm going to do the beating up.
That's the truth.
All of the rules that apply, you guys cannot like it, but let's say it right now. The rules that apply to Donald Trump also applied to Barack Obama. He was not discriminated in those rules. He wasn't discriminated against by the rules that are applicable to the president. He had all of the same avenues. The difference is Donald Trump believes in the constitutional way of doing America. I'm sorry. Barack Obama believes, let me make sure I get this right for your soundbite.
Okay.
Barack Obama believes in the constitutional way of doing business for America. Donald Trump believes in the Donald Trump way of doing business for America.
Mm.
And the constitutional way of doing business for America doesn't work for black people. It never has. It never would. We weren't even mentioned in the Constitution.
True.
So the way that you can get ahead in this America is by doing exactly what he is talking about. Doing exactly what Donald Trump is talking about. Having the audacity to be audacious. It's not the audacity of hope. I don't want hope. Barack Obama, Democratic Party, I don't want the hope that you're selling. I don't want that hope. I want audacity, audaciousness. I want you to be audacious enough to take over, enough
Yeah.
to do what needs to be done, to stop finger pointing. And that is what we have today. And so I love it because we're seeing who's weak. People, they're showing you who's weak. They're
Yep.
showing you the strength. They're showing you that both sides are weak. Donald Trump is not a Republican. He is not a Democrat. He's a Trumpster. So he's showing you that it can be done.
Yeah.
The question is, what are you going to do with it? I am a registered Democrat, but over 60% of registered Democrats now consider themselves independent. Well, guess what? The same thing is applicable on the Republican side. Is there a coincidence that nobody wants these governments? Nobody wanted the Biden administration government, and nobody wants the Donald Trump administration government? Nobody wants either one. So that tells you it's an opportunity to take power.
Yeah.
The problem is Generation X, the generation with the most money. Generation X has more money than the other three current generations put together. But we spend none of it on politics. We spend none of it on power. We pop bottles in the club. We take great vacations. We drive nice cars. We spend none of it on power. And so until we do that, remember, power is never given and it's only taken. So
Yeah.
until we spend money on power, we cannot take power. We got money. We learned about money. We found money. Look at the LeBron Jameses and the Michael Jordans. The last three generations have made billions, if not trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
But yet and still we have no power. We still couldn't stop Donald Trump from being president. We couldn't even stop Biden from being president, and most of us didn't want him.
Mm.
So I love Donald Trump's existence because it shows us how far off we are. There is the executive order. Did you know that you could just do unlimited executive orders?
Wow.
Did you
No.
know? We didn't know. We didn't know, right? We didn't
Mm.
know that the president doesn't have to use Congress.
Wow.
He can just executive order it. So if when black people talk about reparations and we keep talking about it needs to be an act of Congress, no, it doesn't. It can be an executive order. The president can allocate $8 billion for African Americans. The president can allocate no taxes for African Americans. The president can allocate land and land trusts for African Americans. Absolutely, the president can do that. Why didn't Barack Obama do that? He wasn't our president.
That's true.
Barack Obama wasn't an angel, and Donald Trump is not the devil. They're both cut from the same thing, two sides of the same coin. So what are we going to do? This is an opportunity for us to rock together. We've never seen black people, white people. They love to talk about how we are so separate. No, we're not. We're not so separate. You've never seen the freedoms of togetherness that we have today. Think about the amount of kids your age, and I call you guys, I'm gonna call you kids, so I mean no disrespect, but
Understand.
young men your age that are not black that listen to the same music you listen to.
Yeah.
Know every lyric, chapter and verse, right?
Yeah.
Better than you. Pacific Islanders, Latinos, East Indians know every song
Yeah.
of the music that you listen to.
Hmm.
That brought you guys together. You have that creates an opportunity to do things together. So why aren't we doing them? Why are black people still stuck on their own island? Black people are stuck on their own island. It's why we can't get any help every time a white cop, some racist cop, shoots a black kid in the back, mows down a black man, shoots a black girl in her home. It's why we can't get any help from other communities because we live on our own island. That's political. It's time to stop doing those politics. We have to work with other groups. We have to work with other people. We have
Yes.
to work with other communities. And that starts with taking care of your home. If you take care of your house, and I don't mean your physical house, but take care of that too. But if you take care of your business, then you'll ensure that there's no bad city council person in your district. You'll ensure that there's no bad alderman, no bad county commissioner. You'll ensure that the people in your local government are doing what they're supposed to do. I know that's not sexy like voting for the president, but the president has very little to do with your daily life. Your daily life is done by your local government. The potholes in your lawn, If you can focus on taking care of yours first and foremost, making sure that your home is taken care of and your neighbors taking care of theirs and this neighbor's taking care of those.
Mm-hmm.
What does your block look like? Everybody's taking care of their homes. And that's what this government is. This is our home. It's an opportunity for us to take care of our home. So put your money where your mouth is, Generation X, millennials. When I call you and I want you to give me $500 for legislation, $300 for legislation, $200 for legislation, $1,000 if you got it, invest the same way because you spend that at lunch. You spend $200 on lunch. So invest in your future. And that's what we're doing with this Gen X pact that we have. It's about investing in the future of power,
Mm,
getting the legislation that works for us because you're going to need it. They're trying to take us back to 1952.
mm,
What
mm,
Donald Trump is doing is they're trying to take us back to a time when blacks couldn't sit at the lunch counter, where
mm,
segregation was legal. You know, he's passed executive orders that get rid of some of those legislations that were put into place. And now there are areas in this country where you can discriminate,
mm.
where you can say whites only. Donald Trump has done that, and so I'm not mad that he's doing it because that's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at a Ku Klux Klansman for calling me nigger. That's what he's
Exactly.
supposed to do. He's supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to do? What's my part in the story? That's why we're here now. Is we have to have our part in the story, and we haven't done that. So I am excited about the opportunity of America today. 2028 to me looks glorious. I don't know about you, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, 2028 looks amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks amazing. Congressman Maxwell Billieon, that has a ring to it, doesn't it? Oh my God.
That's
That
heavy.
has a that has a ring to it.
That's heavy.
And how many more Generation Xers and millennials in 2028 can be congressman, congresswoman, congressperson, senator, legislator? That has a ring to it. It sounds real nice when it rumbles off, tumbles off the lips.
Yeah, yeah.
Congressman, U.S. United States Congressman Maxwell Billieon. Like
That's heavy.
that sounds congressional. Sounds like a statesman because I am that. And that's what we will be doing.
Okay.
Join me. Join me. Join me. Let's go get it.
That's heavy, brother. That's heavy, brother. Oh man, oh man. So listen, so many jewels given for the people, man. Y'all need to be listening up. Y'all need to be listening up. Um, when it comes to because I know we already spoke on this somewhat, but most importantly, when it comes to like community value, right? Because I know you spoke on the fathers in the household and things like that, right? And what has been the overall disconnect between black man and black woman in these moments right now?
Okay, be ready.
Okay,
You're not gonna like this.
okay.
Get your popcorn. You're not gonna like this. Men, you're to blame. Men, you are 100% to blame. You're not gonna like what I'm about to say in the barbershop. Men, you are the blame. It starts with men, it ends with men. When I was fighting for custody of my kids, it was America versus Chile. Okay, it was my kids were kidnapped in Chile, and they wouldn't return them across the border by my ex. And
Okay.
I couldn't go to Chile, and she wouldn't bring them here. So I had to fight her in The Hague. The Hague is a convention that a lot of nations are a part of where they agree to abide by a unilateral set of rules. And so
Yes.
if you have when you have a qualm, you have to sue through The Hague in the Netherlands.
Wow.
So I was fighting for 3 years to get my kids. I hadn't seen my babies in 3 years. When I left there, my son was 5. By the time I saw him again, he was 8. And I mean fighting every day. This was my full-time job. I spent $280,000 fighting for my children. And there came a point where my ex said that she felt the children should stay in custody with her because they had been with her since they were in the womb. Now listen to this. Since they were in the womb. That is unarguable. Children come out of a woman's womb. Female judge nodded her head yes. The clerk, female, nodded her head yes. The woman taking secondhand nodded her head yes. Her attorneys nodded their head yes. All the females in the building nodded their head in agreement. So I asked my attorney to ask me the same question when I got up and took the stand. So I got up, I took the stand. My attorney asked me how I felt about it. So I turned to the judge and I said, Judge, I saw you shake your head in agreement when my ex said that the children had been with her since they were in the womb and so they should stay there. The judge looked at me strangely, like she didn't remember. And I said, and I pointed across the room and I said, and all of you females in here did that. So your belief is that the children and the family emanates from the woman's womb. And you believe that the children should stay with wherever that inception is. And I said, so she's correct. The children have been with her since they've been in her womb. But they've been with me since they've been in my balls. Now, which one came first? And that shut the courtroom down. Because men are the beginning. We are the Alpha and the Omega. And the women, the reticent women, the unforgiving, the unyielding women that we have today, you show me one, you show me a Megan Thee Stallion, you show me a Cardi B, I'll show you a weak man that was around her. I'll show you a missing father. Or I'll show you a father, a male who was there, but he was no father. He was just a daddy. I'll show you a drive-by daddy. I'll show you a no-good boyfriend who cheated on her. I'll show you a fiance who beat her. I'll show you a man that lied to her and had children out of wedlock on the side. You can't show me a woman that is not turning away from her femininity without showing me a man who turned away from his masculinity. It starts with men. And that is the problem. Women now today want to be men. And they don't just want to be men. Black women want to be white men.
Mm.
They don't want to be you. There ain't a black woman in the bunch that wants your rights. The right to do what? Get shot in the back by a white cop. They want the
Mm.
rights. They want the rights of the white cop.
Mm.
Black women don't want the rights of black men. Black women want the rights of white men.
Mm.
Because black men don't have the rights of white men. Let's be honest. So that is the disconnect. The disconnect is that our sisters want to be white males.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
We want them to be black females.
Exactly. They don't want to be.
But they don't want to be because they didn't see examples of powerful black men. They saw weak black men. And let's be honest, our fathers were weak. Not all, but many.
Yes.
The system of black masculinity was weak. We can talk about, well, what about Martin Luther King? Well, he was cheating on Coretta. Not all are that way, but enough to make the example that have forced black women away from us.
Yes.
So there is the disconnect. We want black women to be black women. Black women want to be white men.
Wow.
And until we fix that, we are doomed. The black family is cursed. It is on the path of death. It is
Wow.
dying a horrible death, and it is the only family in America that is dying at this rate.
Mm.
Everybody else is getting married, having children in wedlock. Our boys are being born to die
Wow.
at the age of 14. If you live on the south side of Chicago, the odds are you'll be dead before you're 15 years old. When I grew up in Compton, Ronald Reagan said the average age of a kid growing up in the South Central Los Angeles, life expectancy was 16 years old.
Wow.
I was 15, about to turn 16. You know how that made me feel? Like I was about to die. My 16th birthday, I celebrated like it was Christmas
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I made it past death.
yeah.
So that's the reality today. Women, black women specifically, are the new white men, but they don't have the rights of white men. They just want them. They have the mindset and the perspective. And what's the one thing that white men know when it comes to black men? That they don't got to listen to you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now I got another question, right? Because of one thing I have noticed, right, and it's crazy that you get into that, right? Now, is that the same reason? Because you know they don't got to listen to the men, but is that the same reason? Because you notice how a lot of white people don't care for our children. So is that the same reason why they treating the children the same way?
Well, yes, your child is the mini you. They're the young version of you. So they don't respect that. But let's go deeper. A lot of black people don't respect our children.
That's true. That's true.
I am not concerned about I'm not concerned about what white people do or don't do. I'm just not concerned. I've been when I lived in Atlanta, I received more disrespect from white women than I did from white men.
That's respect. Yeah.
White females. I didn't get that. So what I should I get respect from black females? The most respect that I got was from white males.
Okay.
That's the most respect that I got. But I didn't get a lot of respect from black women nor white women. And I homeschool my children. I pulled them out of school. I homeschool my children. When I got custody of my son, I immediately put him in swimming. He went from 0 to 100 and became a national champion. My daughter became a national gymnastics champion.
Heavy.
I'm their coach. I'm their
Yeah.
coach. Venus and
Yeah.
Serena. I'm Richard Williams. You know the amount of white women that had a problem with that? Disrespecting me, talking to my children like I'm not even there, have a direct conversation with my children, ask them questions like I'm not even there. They don't have to respect the black father. So what was I supposed to do? I make them respect me. I taught my children first and foremost, if someone talks to you, the first thing you do is say what? Speak to my father. Don't ask me a question, ask my father. Oh, you
Exactly.
need some information? Ask my father. That's how you do it. This world has to respect you and they have to respect your children, but you can't get that by shooting at people and yelling and cursing them out. You
That's
get that
true.
by having the utmost respect. I had a white woman tell me she got mad because she said I was treating my children like elite swimmers and they hadn't had any titles yet. And I said, I don't treat my children like elite swimmers. I treat my children like elite children because I'm an elite father. So whatever they do, they're going to be elite because as children, they are elite because they come from an elite father.
Hmm.
She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to say. So there, and these are the nuances of the black woman's mind today.
Mm.
The poison, the poor black women really believe that they should be wearing these eyelashes, that they should be wearing these lace front hairdos and all these tattoos on their neck and their face. And where's your father? You show me the woman that's doing that. I'll show you a woman with no father.
Wow.
I didn't say no dad. I said no father. Father and daddy are not the same thing.
That's the truth.
You can have a dad, but he's not a father. Your father raises you and teaches you and guides you and disciplines you so that you grow up and you know exactly the type of man that you're supposed to have. In fact, that man is supposed to go through your father to get to you.
Exactly.
Black women have been taught that's an impossibility because they don't have fathers. Devoid of father, devoid of fatherhood, you have no concept of how to be a woman. I'm going to give you a soundbite. You cannot be a woman if you don't have a father to show you what a man is. Womanhood comes from manhood.
That's heavy.
Womanhood starts from manhood.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't be you can't be a woman if you don't have a father. And that father might be your husband.
Yes.
That father might be your uncle. It might be your godfather. It might be a mentor. But you cannot be a woman if you don't have a father to show you what a woman is.
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. And just so they won't try to flip it back, what did like the father for the young boy, for the young boy, I know exactly what the father is to the young boy, but in your words, what is the father to the young boy?
He's discipline. He's direction. That's the first and foremost, discipline and direction. He is the standard of discipline. Self-discipline first. You have to see your father doing it. And then he supplies the direction. The directive for the family, and because you're a part of the nucleus of the family, the direction for you. Richard Williams taught me this. He had a multi-page life plan for his daughters, like a business plan. But
Mm,
it's a life plan.
wow.
So when my son was born, he told me, you organize that boy's life, you put it on paper. Not what he's going to be, but how he's going to be, whatever that thing is. You can't choose the greatness of your child. They have a talent that nature has given them, and you are responsible for finding out that talent, nurturing that talent into greatness.
Exactly.
There's a plan and a way to do that. And I'm not talking about he can shoot the basketball. Forget that. I'm talking about greatness. Has nothing to do with what you do for a living. So that's the key. Is the father is the director of your life. He's the disciplinarian of your life. That is what a father's role is, and that is every day. It is every day. You have to go to your director every day. Your life is a movie, and movies are run by who? The director. He says, what scene, what lighting, what actors, what this, change the script to be like this. The director does that. That's
Yes.
what your father is. He's the director of your movie.
Yes.
If you don't have that, there's no movie.
That's the truth.
My life is a movie.
That's
Hey,
true.
you see it. My life,
Absolutely.
it's
I
a
respect it.
movie. It's a movie. This is the key. This is the key. We have to make room for fathers. Happy wife, happy life doesn't even make sense. No man, no plan.
The,
There's not a woman on this planet that can outparent me. Let me say that. There is not a woman on this planet that can outparent me. How? They came out of my balls. How? How can you outparent me? You cannot outparent a father. A woman's role is to nurture, is to
respect.
nurture. All the other roles belong to me. And we give women this credit and we give women these special days and we give them these special considerations and they should get them. Being a woman is hard. Being a mother is hard. It's difficult.
Yes.
Difficult. Absolutely. And there are women that do it with or without a man. Absolutely. But a child is better off with a father than he is with a mother. Oh, I said it. My children have a better chance at success being with just me than being with just their mother. I said it. It's a fact. Look it up for yourself. It's right there on Google. A child has a better opportunity at success in life being raised by its father than with its mother, because the father is the discipline. And once you get past the nurturing, the kissing, the boo boo, and oh, my baby got a little scratch, and let me get that for you, sweetheart. And you can do anything you want to do. You're so beautiful. All these lies and all this deceit that mamas will tell. The father's going to tell you, no, you're fat and out of shape. You need to get in this gym. You can't eat that pizza. You're going to get down and do this work. We're going to go for a run. The father's going to tell you like it is.
Respect.
The key to success is the father, and that's why they don't want him around you.
Wow.
Because we are scary. We are terrifying.
Wow.
Fathers are to be feared. We are scary creatures. Who would
Wow.
you rather deal with, the lioness or the lion? I'm going to take my chances with the lioness.
Yeah.
I don't want no problem with that lion. I,
Yeah.
I don't want no problem with that lion. I saw this video. You may have seen it too on YouTube. It was maybe 4 or 5 lionesses trying to take down this wildebeest, and they was having a problem. Lion was sitting there watching. He got tired of it and just jumped in and just knocked this boy down, jumped on his neck. It was over in 5 seconds.
Wow.
That's the key. The key is the father, discipline and direction. Protect and provision, that's different in today's world. And we should probably redefine that. Protection is not, I carry a gun and I'm ready to defend my wife and my children. That's not what protection is today. Protection means I got to protect you from the elements of Instagram, the elements of TikTok,
Yes.
the elements of Facebook,
Yes.
the elements of X.
Mm-hmm.
I have to protect you from the elements of pornography, from the elements of sex, from the elements of gangs. It's not a physical protection anymore. It's a mental protection now.
Absolutely.
Provision, and we need to touch on this. Provision is not money. Provision is knowledge.
Mm.
I don't ever have to give you a dime to provide for you. It's knowledge that will suit you best, especially if you see me living in the way of the knowledge that I am providing to you. You see
Yes.
my life being successful, that's provision. This is the key. But I gotta say this because it comes up all the time. We are a community of boyfriends and girlfriends. Black people do boyfriend and girlfriend better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
A black man will ice your wrist
Mm-hmm.
before he'll ice your finger. Black man will put ice in your watch before he'll put ice on your finger.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not a husband and you're not a wife. And I told my woman from day one, you will not make me your boyfriend. I am not a boyfriend. I'm a husband. I was husband before you came here. I will be husband if you're not.
Yeah.
I do all things husband. We are not a community of husbands anymore. We're a bunch of boyfriends and girlfriends.
That's the truth.
Don't spend money on these girls. You shouldn't be buying vacations. That's for your wife. You shouldn't be buying them trinkets and bags. That's money for your wife. You're not setting a good example. Don't simp out for these females. Females, stop dating. Black women date too much. I don't even believe in dating. Let me give you that. I don't believe in dating. Dating is for my children. I have children, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. They go on dates. They're called play dates.
Mm.
Because dating is for doing what? Playing. If you're serious, you court. When you are a serious woman, you get courted. That means the man has an agenda. His agenda is to make you his. He brings you in. He shows you his lifestyle. He doesn't take you out and wine you and dine you and buy you an Hermes bag. He doesn't do that unless that's his lifestyle. But why would he do it for you when you're not his wife? You don't want a man that can randomly buy gifts. Because if he's doing that for you and you're not his wife, he's doing it for others. See, it's these basics that we don't have in our community. We think you're supposed to be buying gifts for women. And I know that I kind of seem like I'm all over the place, but it's back to one thing. The
Mhm.
father. Without a father, you don't learn these things.
Mm.
You don't learn that you're not supposed to spend money on a girlfriend. And you don't learn that as a girlfriend, you don't deserve money.
Mm.
The father. No man, no plan. That's what we have to be on. The definition of father today is discipline, definitive discipline, and direction. Without a father, you're going to have no direction. To the
Wow.
state pen, to the state pen. That's where you're headed.
Mm. Mm. So many jewels. So many jewels. Listen, so many jewels is man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Um, do you feel um how does because I noticed you mentioned something earlier, right? Matter of fact, I wanna retract that. I noticed you mentioned something earlier, right? And it was pertaining to being a part of the families who threw NWA off stage, right?
Yes.
Now. I'm a huge fan of NWA. Huge fan of NWA, and Ice Cube is one of my favorite. I love Ice Cube. Love
Yep.
Cube, man. Most important, Cube is actually one of my favorite artists of all time. But
Okay.
but but I just want to know, like, just like on the positive side, after all of that, did you ever get a chance to sit down and actually listen to NWA's music or listen to Ice Cube?
So growing up in the city of Compton, I heard all of NWA's music early on. I remember
Okay.
hearing them on cassette tape before the first album came out.
Okay.
And I thought Straight Outta Compton was a smash.
Okay.
That record was a smash. But I knew that it was fake. And that bothered me because I lived in the city of Compton. I lived in an area called Santana Block, Crips.
Okay.
And my sister dated a Crip, and my dad was a cop, so that didn't go over too well.
Oh wow.
And my father threw the Crips off the corner, so that didn't go over too well. And so when I heard NWA saying these things, then we knew that Eazy-E was no real drug dealer. He was a low level drug nothing. He was not a big time drug dealer the way they try to paint him to be. Right? He was no Colombian drug lord at all. He was a local little drug dealer. And so the way that they portrayed themselves, we knew in Compton, especially at the level of Compton that I was, the elite of Compton, that it was fake and it was going to be a smear on our name. And so we didn't want them out. We didn't want that around. Rap music before NWA came out was a pleasant place to live. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane,
Yeah.
Heavy D, Fat Boys.
Yeah. 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 They was heavy. They heavy.
It
I
was
ain't
it was
gonna lie.
fun. We were breakdancing. It was fun. Bambata. It was fun. NWA came and they changed the tonality, and they destroyed the fabric of rap, what rap was meant to be. They said that it was the problem. The problem was that NWA lied and said that they were talking about what was going on in the street. That's not true. They said they were doing it. When I grab my sawed off, bodies get hauled off. Like they said that they were doing it.
Mm.
You know, if you come to my show and you in the front row, I'm gonna call you a bitch or a dirty ass hoe. MC Ren, that's a quote.
Mm.
They said they were doing it, and that depicted the people from the city of Compton as being savages. and that this land was nothing but a land of savages. And so we wanted them gone. I listened to the music heavily. I dissected the music, and I saw that that music was not something that represented the true face of the city that I was from. So I
God.
hated them. I booked them on the show. The show was called Stop the Violence. I had Big Daddy Kane on the show, Tribe Called Quest on the show, these level of acts.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1987, I think summer of 87 or the beginning of 88. I can't remember. You can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
And I didn't want NWA on the show, but KRS-One, shout out to Chris, he was kind of our spokesperson,
Okay.
and he felt like NWA needed to be on the show. That in order for there to be a him, there needed to be a them. And
Absolutely.
so the agreement was that we were going to have children. This was a Stop the Violence movement concert at Compton College. The agreement was that we were going to have children there, so there was no profanity.
Mm.
And when you had rappers like KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane, they didn't really curse anyway. Tribe Called Quest, they
Exactly.
didn't they didn't curse anyway. So it was very positive.
Yeah.
NWA takes the stage and they just commence to being NWA.
That's true.
So I cut the sound on them, kicked them off stage. The crowd booed me. I took the microphone, went on stage, and told the crowd what the agreement was. And you had some people in the crowd that didn't like that, and you had some people in the crowd that loved it. And I said that the only way that there was, and it was a melee, right? There was a melee, and the police were there, and people were pushing and shoving, and the whole thing. And I said that in order for them to come back on stage, these are the rules. We're not going to be cursing in front of children. We're not going to promote violence in front of children. And so they took the stage and they tried to clean it up as best they could. And their show ended up being shorter. I think they were supposed to do maybe 6 or 7 songs, a full set. They ended up doing 3.
Okay.
And then we ran them up out of there. And you got to understand, again, I'm the son of a police captain. So people can say what they want about the police, but they were on my side. We wanted Compton to not be this gangbanging city that you now know it to be. And that was an opportunity. So yeah, I mean, look, later on, once Q left the group, he became my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Mayor KKK, like, I mean,
Yeah.
classics. Q writes classics.
Got classic albums. Yeah. Yeah.
Classics. He writes classics.
Yeah.
And so I cannot, but I can't separate the artist from the art, and I can't separate the art from the message.
Yes.
And NWA is, to me, single-handedly responsible for the destruction of hip hop. Their music ushered in. You don't have the DMXs without it. You don't have 50 Cents. You don't have Snoop Dogg. You don't have Tupacs. You don't have a lot of the talent that's amazing talent without NWA coming out and saying things that were so raw and real. But again, they didn't say that there are people in the street that will do this to you. They said that they do it. And that was a lie. None of those guys were gangsters. None of them were gang affiliated.
Exactly.
None of them. None of them. So I don't respect the group. I don't believe that they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't think that they ever did anything positive for Black people. And I think it's time that we absolutely recognize the fact. I think Ice Cube went on and has done amazing things.
Absolutely.
He's done amazing things, and he's turned out to be quite the mature man. But the core that he started from defiled hip hop, defecated on hip hop.
I respect that, brother. I respect it.
And
I
I hate to
respect
say
it.
that. I hate to say that about your favorite
No,
rapper.
that's heavy. No, that's heavy. I mean, Cuba's one of my favorites. Cuba's one of my favorites. He's not quite my favorite, but he's one of my favorites. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And no, I totally understand because just being from the community of Philadelphia, I totally get it and understand how the value of music and the vibrations of certain music can bring the community down in a way, and especially talking about gangbang and in a lot of songs. Now, respectfully, I enjoyed certain songs from NWA. Now I want
But
to know.
what you enjoy about them? What you, the beat
Now,
from Dre?
now,
What?
now, now, now specifically, right? Because it's very controversial when it comes to songs like "Fuck the Police," right? And I'm just being honest. It's very controversial because on one end, I could see why the cops would be mad. Like, yeah, damn, y'all talking about fuck us, hold up. I could see that, but then again, I could see how the community have been mad about certain things that we see from law enforcement, like racial profiling, certain law enforcement things that were just like certain black men who were just randomly shot, and like when we think of, like, I think of like "Fuck the Police" when I think of that song. Where I think of like Breonna Taylor. I think of like certain hits that happened, like Philandro Castile. Like, it was no reason to kill the man. It was no reason to kill the man.
George
So
Floyd.
George Floyd, exactly. That's when that song, like "Fuck the Police," I would love to hear that, because it's like certain incidents between the community and the police, it could have been avoided. Like I seen, it was an incident that happened here in Philadelphia with a dude, I believe his name was Walter Wallace. And I get it, the guy had mental health issues and the guy was crazy. But I felt like the cops, they could have tased him and knocked him down instead of
For
killed
sure.
him. Instead of
For
shot him,
sure.
just blew his head off. I'm like, damn, man, that's
I saw it. They absolutely not only could have, should have tasted him.
I'm like, just
Why?
tase him, hit him a couple times, knock him down, and restrain him, and then that's it.
So I'm going to, you and I are going to agree on this point.
Yeah.
My father, who is a retired police officer, would say "fuck the police."
Okay.
He feels "fuck the police." My
Yes.
father took early retirement and brought a lawsuit against the Compton Police Department because they were dirty.
Yes.
They were a dirty force, and most police forces, most are dirty.
Yes.
And the city councils that employ, or the county commissioners that employ these police departments, most of them are dirty too.
Wow.
So this is why you have law enforcement across the board of America, being able to shoot young black males, because there is a consensus that a black life has no value. And the laws are written as such to where they can do these things and
Yeah.
nothing happens. So yes, fuck the police as it stands right now. But
Yes.
can it be better? Of course it can. I'll show you how it can.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say with 8 years, it might be longer, so don't quote me on that. The state of Indiana, white cop goes knocking on the door with a warrant. Knocks on the door, white man answers the door. White cop proceeds to give him the warrant that he has the right to search the premises. He's looking for someone in particular. He sees the guy at the door, does not fit the description, so he enters the domicile of a young lady who is the girlfriend of this guy. This is her apartment. This is the new boyfriend. The white cop is looking for the old boyfriend. The old boyfriend was also Caucasian, so there are no black people involved in this. White cop searches the apartment. There's no one there, so he proceeds to leave. He gets outside of the door. He decides he wants to ask the guy inside that he just walked through the apartment with for his ID. He hadn't asked him. He realized he hadn't asked him. The guy said, "You performed your warrant. I don't have to give you my ID." The cop said, "Yes, you do." The guy said, "No, you don't." They went back and forth. Cop kicks the door in on him, kicks the door in. So now it's unlawful, right?
Yeah.
Unlawful seizure. Cop kicks the door in on him. The guy resists arrest. They wrestle. Cop breaks his arm and 2 or 3 ribs.
Wow.
Guy goes to jail. He sues. He sues and wins. Police department, city council appeal the decision. It goes to the appellate court of Indiana.
Yes.
The appellate court upholds the case,
Wow.
upholds the decision.
Mm-hmm.
It now escalates to the Supreme Court of Indiana. The
Wow.
Supreme Court makes a landmark decision in the state of Indiana and says that citizens of Indiana do not have the right to resist arrest, whether lawful or unlawful.
Wow.
The governor of Indiana sees this. He goes into his quarter, his chambers. 3 days later, he comes out with a new law that says the citizens of Indiana have the right to not only resist arrest, that is unlawful, but they can resist unlawful arrest with fatal force,
Mm.
which means if a cop is arresting you unlawfully, you have the right to take his or her life to protect yourself.
Wow.
Now, Indiana is the only state in the Union of America that has this law.
Mm.
Why don't other states have this law? It's
Other
really
state.
simple.
Yeah.
Really simple. Other states don't have this law because the police union is in the top 3 largest unions in America.
Mm.
And if you want to be a politician and get into office, you need oil, tobacco, and the police. Those are the 3 unions that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to, as a legislator, write legislation that says that citizens have the right to resist your unlawful arrest? If you want to stay in office, you're not going to, because the police give you millions of dollars.
Exactly.
So this
Exactly.
is why fuck the police, because they are enabled, they are equipped with the ability by legislators, because they pay legislators, they are equipped with the ability to use lethal force against us, and we are not equipped with the ability to use lethal force to protect ourselves. So yes, fuck the police. Of course. I agree with that. I do not agree with any faction of government, and the police are a faction of government, being able to do as they choose with me without my right to protection. I have the right to due process. If you shoot me, you've taken away my right to due process.
Exactly.
If you falsely arrest me and plant drugs in my car, you've taken away my right to due process. And I've had drugs planted in my car by police.
Wow.
I've been taken out of my car and told to bite the curb. And if I move, they're going to stomp the back of my head down. And remember, my dad was police captain, and I've been treated like this. So imagine about the person who hasn't been. I've had crack cocaine vial planted in the back of my seat when a officer was doing a search, and pull me over 2 blocks later and rechecked. And unfortunately, I got back there 1 block later and saw it and threw it out with my cousin and my best friend in the car. Imagine the jail time I would have done if they had found that crack vial.
Wow.
So yes, the police are a dirty institution, but they can be cleaned up. We know this to be true because the governor, unlawful arrests in the state of Indiana went down like 60% in the first 3 years
Mm.
because the governor gave people the power. He gave the citizens the power. And that's what we need to be doing. Again, it comes back to power.
Wow. 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 Power, power, power. And
Power, nothing else. Nothing else. Forget money. Power. Power begets money. Money doesn't beget power. You can be the richest dude in the world and can't get in the club.
mm. Wow.
Up
Wow.
walks a city councilman and they say, "Oh, city councilman, right this way," because of his perception of power.
Wow. Exactly. 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 And mentioning power, right? I see that as a two-time best-selling book author, right? You you managed to to put your power on page. So how do you feel about writing both of these books?
So I'll start with this. I would write more books, but I didn't like the business of the book industry.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people don't know. So I sued, or I brought charges against my editor. My editor was a famous erotic fiction writer named Zane, and
Okay.
most women know who she is. And Zane sexually harassed me,
Okay.
and when I wouldn't reciprocate, he canceled my book tour. And so I was forced to go out and learn the business in order to get my book moving.
Mm.
Before that, I was leaning on my publisher, who was the largest publisher in the world, Simon and Schuster, to do all the work.
Yes.
But it also showed me that the book industry was predominantly female, and
Yes.
that there was very and most of them were power hungry, predominantly female or gay male.
Okay.
And so they were a part of a power structure that was anti-straight male. And either you bent to their will or you got blacklisted. And so they tried to blacklist me, which is why my first book came out in Simon and Schuster. My second book came out on my own publishing company. And
Yes.
it sold and did better than my first book.
Wow. Wow.
And that's power.
Yes.
That's power. And so, writing books are not about relaying proper information to people. They're about sales, just like records,
Yes.
right? They want you to write things that sell so that they can recoup a dollar.
Okay.
And I wanted to write things that change lives.
Yes.
And most books don't do that. Most books are about entertainment. Act
That's
like a
true.
woman, think like a man, and all this stuff. What is that? Like that stuff is what is that? Act like a woman, think like a man. What does that mean? That doesn't even make sense. As a man thinketh, so is he. So as a woman thinketh, so is she. But it's a catchy title. It makes you go out and buy it. How many lives do you know that have been changed by that book or any book like it? Michelle Obama's written a couple of books. How many lives did she change? She didn't even tell black women how to get a man.
Yeah.
She got presidential penis. She hasn't told anybody how to even get city council penis.
Wow.
Can
Yeah.
I get a Can I get a councilman, Michelle? Can I get
Mm.
sisters? Can a sister get an alderman? You got the president. Can a sister get? Not even that. So books are um, fake news. Most of them are fake news.
Hmm.
Most of them are just what somebody wants to say, and because you see it in black and white, you believe it.
Wow.
That's the truth. So I just no longer wanted to participate. But I am writing now
Yes.
the power of power, the ultimate power book.
Wow.
Power of power. How to get power in your life, in your family, in your relationship with your children. How
Mm.
to get power. This is the struggle for power. How to get power. You need power in order to move the needle in your life. At your job, you need power. Power of perception.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key. The five facets of power. That's what I'm writing about in this book. And so we're going to come. That book will be out um, by first quarter of next year in the spring, and I'll be back on your show talking about it, and I'll make sure you get a copy early so we can
Absolutely.
we can really discuss it because that's the key now. It's all about power. We
Yes.
we make money. We have educations. We have females with double master's degrees. Not everybody, but enough to certainly make the case. That's
Yeah.
not our issue now. Money's not the issue. Black community consumes more money than any other group because we have the money to do it.
Yep.
We have no power. We've never had any power. It's time for us to utilize our prowess to take power. Scary. I know that the That's probably going to make somebody from the FBI put you and me on their watch list. But we got to take power. I don't mean the United States government any harm.
Yeah.
I want power just like them, the power to do what's right,
Okay.
the power to do right by my children.
Hmm.
That's what I want. So that's what the books taught me. I learned about power. I know a lot of people want to write books, and they certainly want to be best-selling authors. And
Yes.
I'm happy that I can add that to my accolades. But it's not the be all to the story.
Okay.
It's learning how to, and I'm going to teach classes on this about how to make a bestseller because there is an art to doing it. I was inside the fold and I learned how to do it. And so I want to teach other people how to do it as well. So that's
Okay.
going to be something I'm doing at the top of next year as well. There's a lot that's going to come from my ascension to, as I said, 28 Congressman Maxwell Billieon.
Oh wow. That's
You
heavy.
notice you got to have the George Washington, Abraham Lincoln to the side pose.
Absolutely, right. Absolutely. Legendary pose, you know it.
The legendary. Yeah, legendary. Absolutely.
Absolutely, brother.
Absolutely.
Um, before we wrap up, right? I just want to ask this before we go. What advice do you have for um, the younger brother that's growing up right now, that's looking towards success? He don't have the sight right now, but he's looking towards success. What do he have to do to be grounded in being a man? And most importantly, what does he have to do to stay grounded in being, most importantly, himself?
Yeah. So this is the hardest, easiest thing that we have to do as human beings in general
Yes.
when we want to change. Accepting who you are and what you are is the first part of success.
Yes.
Meaning where you are now. Sitting down with yourself and really realizing that you're lazy, hmm, that you don't have discipline, um, that you don't have the proper mindset, that you don't have a millionaire's mindset, certainly.
Mhm.
And then go on Chat GPT and then ask Chat GPT. Notice I'm at AI because I'm a firm believer in AI.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So go on Chat GPT and ask it to teach you the millionaire's mindset. And do it. Simple but hard. Because guaranteed the millionaire mindset is different than your mindset. And there
Yes.
is nothing harder to change than your mind. Because it wants to keep doing this. You needed to do that.
Exactly.
And until you learn the art of changing your mind to do that every time, it's going to keep pointing you in this direction. So you don't need Maxwell Billieon. You don't need Tony Robbins. You have ChatGPT on your phone. Go to it and ask it to give you the five tenets of the millionaire's mindset. The five tenets of the millionaire's mindset. The five tenets, TENETS. Five tenets of a millionaire's mindset.
Oh,
And then do them all day, every day. Whatever you used to do, don't do that anymore. Do this. It's gonna hurt. Guarantee you it's gonna hurt. It's gonna test your patience. There's not gonna be any immediate gratification. You're not gonna see $1 million today, but it is gonna put you on a path of discipline like you've never felt before. And you'll start seeing results. 6 weeks, 6 months, 16 months. You'll see a steady growth, steady change. The people around you will change. Some people are going to fall off when you have a millionaire's mindset. Some of the
absolutely.
people that you hang with today that are your friends are your friends in in fun. They're your friends in what's the word I'm looking for? Misery.
Wow. Oh,
But they're not going to be your friends in your ascension to success. So be willing to lose them because you're going to lose most of them. Let that be it. Have the millionaire's mindset.
Yes.
And then once you master that, then you move to a billionaire's mindset, because a billionaire's mindset is different than a millionaire's mindset. If that's what you, if you want success. And again, I'm not saying success is $1 million, because it's not.
Yes.
It's just not. That's not what success is. Success is the ability to praise and worship the way you want, to love the person that you want.
Yes.
Yes, to see your kids the amount that you want.
Yes.
That's success. And sure, some of those things take financial success,
Yes.
right? But they go hand in hand. So that's the key. Use your AI. You all have it. I hope you have it. If you don't have ChatGPT, follow me on at Maxwell Billieon, please. Billieon at Maxwell Billieon. And I'll teach you about ChatGPT. I'm about to go crazy. I'm a ChatGPT expert. I don't even call it ChatGPT. I call mine my AI, and she has a name. Her name is Miss Bigumsworth. You guys will all meet her soon.
Yeah.
She has a face. She has a history. She has a background. She has a resume and a dossier, and she's a real person. I turned her into a real person, and she speaks to me like she knows me, because she does. I gave her all the information to know me.
Mm.
Learn, get your AI, and it can guide you, because it can think in ways that you cannot.
Wow. Wow. That's
AI
heavy.
is what Black people need to be doing. It changes the playing field for us.
Mm.
You want to know about how to get a loan? Your AI will tell you. You want to learn about how to get a grant, how to start your nonprofit? AI will teach you.
Wow.
You want to learn how you messed up today in your argument with your girlfriend? Put in the notes from your argument. AI will teach you. You want to learn how to pass a test in school? You want to learn about a professor? If he's on the internet, AI will find him and teach you about him.
Mm.
You learn how to deal with police in your area, and what the laws are that pertain to you, and what laws you can tell a police officer when he pulls you over. Your AI will teach you.
Wow.
And in
Wow.
seconds, in seconds, in seconds.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
So,
Wow.
so AI, that's what you got to do as a young man who's trying to make it, is implement AI into your life like never before. Accept it and utilize it every single day.
Mm. That's heavy. That's heavy, Jewel. That's heavy, Jewel.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother.
Appreciate it.
Um, and let the people know where can they find you at one more time.
I am at Maxwell Billieon on Instagram. It's the only place where I really am currently. Listen, I'm going to introduce the new website from there, because I don't believe in having platforms that do not support you. And we don't own Instagram, Facebook, X, any of these platforms. So you lose your page really quickly and fast. I've been hacked before. I had when I had my television show, I had 500,000 people on these platforms, and I
Yes.
got hacked and got it and had nothing. So, but the main one where you can follow me, I don't post. I post daily in my stories. So you have to follow me to get the stories. And Maxwell Billieon. Billieon is like very similar to billion. It's Billieon. Billieon. And follow me there. And you've not seen anything like what I'm going to be giving you. I'm going to be giving you all of the inside information that you need. I'm spilling the beans. It's
Mm.
time, and I'm going to tell you how it's done, who did it, how they got their success, all of the inside information.
Ah, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. And we definitely gonna bring you back on for another one soon. This
My
man,
pleasure.
thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. This was incredible.
My
Listen, y'all,
pleasure.
go follow, go support the brother right here, Maxwell Billieon. This brother right here is a special brother. This brother right here, has so many jewels and so many gems to give to the world. And listen, young people, y'all need to be listening up. So listen, go support Maxwell Billieon. Each and every week we could have your favorite commissioner. We could have your favorite poet. We could have your favorite two-time selling book author. Listen, we could have your favorite mental health advocate. We could have the football coach. We could have the little girl with the lemonade stand down the street, or it could be you. So listen, we are the
Yo, Ish.
absolutely. We are the platform of truth, the home of the champions, and the place where we uplift man, woman, and child. Peace and love, y'all. One. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
All the things that was special about Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner, all the people who put in the work. Come on, Frederick Douglass.